which is the question, what is success? And for me, in all of my years, I have whittled it down to three things in order for me to feel like I'm being successful, which is passion, purpose, and impact.
That's good.
I have to have all three of those things in order for me to feel like I'm being successful.
Right.
So again, to whittle that down just a little bit, to go into it, passion. I want to do things that I'm passionate about. If I'm not doing something I'm passionate about, I feel like I'm wasting my time.
Right.
So intrapersonally, I feel better if I'm passionate about what I'm doing.
Right.
And then the purpose and impact are kind of tied in together too. There has to be an immediate thing that I accomplish impact-wise, but I want a long-term impact.
Yep.
And all those things have to be put together for
Right.
me to feel like I'm being successful. And if one of those things feels off, I automatically go and kind of dissect my actions and what I'm doing, and that puts me back on a path to that end goal.
Cool.
So that to me is my version of what is success.
That's success.
Yep.
Well, it's interesting, and I've heard that before. Let me tell you mine. Mine's gonna be a little more long and rambly. I don't have it quite as tight. And then we can just kind of ask each other questions. What do we mean by those things? And
Right.
see where we go with that. So for me, as I thought about this, success on some level is what I call being authentic. That being as real of me as I possibly can, not being fake, being honest, being transparent. And then with that though, that maybe is a way or a method, but really when I come down to it, for me, success is relationships. At the end of the day, my kids, my son, my daughter, my immediate close friends, my coworkers, my clients, at some level, everything comes down to, for me, for relationships. And so I have this, for success for me, is this strange try to balance of being the real Jay as much as I possibly can be, at the same time having healthy relationships. And I know at times that I can be really me. I can be like as authentic as possible, but I'm an authentic asshole. And that is not successful. And so there's something in this where what I don't want to do is be fake and try to please people. Right? And that I'm changing who I am to please people, because that's not a healthy relationship either. If I'm not being real with you, even though you're like, hey, we're really getting along,
But they're going to dig some false sense of who you are. Right.
Well, and I'm not being, that's not successful, because now I feel bad when you leave because I didn't tell the truth. I was trying to act all the time. I'm trying to impress you.
Right.
And to me, that's failure. If I have to pretend for you to like me, then I'm failing. And so there's a balance in here someplace of being completely authentic, being transparent, being honest, but in that having really, really good, healthy relationships. And that's my success. And my success is, for me, it's a lot of work. That for me to be really me is sometimes easy, but I hurt people, I disappoint people, I do things I regret later on, but if those are healthy relationships, I can come back and kind of work through that. So anyway, that my success is being as transparent in me as I possibly can, and at the same time, having really good, healthy relationships, and lots of them, very deep relationships, not acquaintances, but going deep. And that's one of the reasons I moved back to Chico from San Francisco. I have been in Chico about 30 years. I spent about 14 months down in the Bay Area living in downtown San Francisco. And I made a very difficult choice to return because I really missed the people I was here with. So I have some questions though as we start, and then we can kind of dig into this. So when you think about,
I have some questions for you.
Yeah, it's good. No, well, we have passion, impact,
and
the third
purpose.
And so
And the purpose is more on the front side. I mean, I have to be purposeful with what I'm doing. That's what I mean. I don't want to have wasted time.
I was going to ask. So when you think about purpose, is it like a certain vision, something your goals?
So what I mean by purpose is this. So look, this is not me blasting anybody. This is for me, is what I'm saying. Okay, so I have my escapism.
Don't forget to look at the little ones sometimes, because that's the YouTube up there.
Well, right there. I have my own escapism. I'll sit there and I'll watch some Netflix here and then, and I'll go and do my
your garlic popcorn.
Well, that's part of the Netflix.
It's part of the Netflix.
But so from time to time, I'll go down the Netflix rabbit hole, right?
Right.
So I have my escapism, but I allow myself to do that, and that's hard for me to do because sometimes when I'm sitting there, I go fuck. I get mad.
Yeah.
Like you sat down for an hour. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Well, you wasted time, maybe.
Right. So I have to. For me, it's giving myself grace to sit sometimes and just be a total.
Yeah. Veg out.
Veg out. Right.
Right.
So what I mean by purpose is that, like, if I'm like when if I'm at the gym,
Right.
and I'm at the sports club getting my cardio in,
Right.
if I'm not doing cardio, listening to a podcast, writing and reading at the same time, I feel like I'm wasting my time.
Yeah.
While I'm working out at the sports club, I have a podcast going into my ears, so as I'm lifting weights,
Yes.
I'm being fed.
Right.
Or I'm practicing
Right.
podcasting, or I'm practicing
Right.
how I'm speaking. I'm
Right.
critiquing these things, right?
Right.
There has to be purpose behind my actions. If someone just goes, hey, do you want to go downtown and eat some nachos? I'm like, what the fuck for?
Right.
I want to know if it's to hang out with you and connect with you. I'm down.
Right.
Like
Right.
I want. So there has to be purpose behind
Intention.
that. So that's on the
Yeah.
front side of
Yeah.
my
And
success.
here's like a little timeout. This is interesting because again, you and I obviously we know each other for a fairly short time, but we have a lot of respect for each other.
Yeah.
We like each other. We enjoy each other, and we are, I think, would agree, very authentic, right?
Yeah.
We try to be, right? We
Well,
try. We put a lot of
That
effort.
goes into my question for you. In a
Well,
second.
so let me finish one thing, because one thing is that we would say we're different, right? We're
Right.
different
But
in
very
a lot of
similar
ways.
too.
We have a lot of similarities. So it's funny to me because I am very different in that sense that I just screw around a lot. I mean,
Right.
I kind of just float and I just kind of take it as it comes and I kind of think, well, it'll work in the end. And I think one of the things that you and I are good about that we appreciate, but also we think makes us successful, is that you like me, you value the things I do, even though I'm not exactly like you, right? But I think when we think about success, one of the things I think that makes us successful in the way that we define it is we allow people to be different than us
Right.
and value them. And I think that's hard. So we think about, obviously politics right now. Very divided. People just say, if you don't think like I do, I hate you. Or
Yeah,
you're an
right.
idiot. And I
Yeah.
think what we can say often is, we're very opinionated people. No one's ever going to say we're mild-mannered, non-opinionated people.
Yeah.
But we can hear somebody and say,
I'm very
Mike is
calming.
Mike is very purposeful, and he wants his actions to line up a certain way. And Jay's just kind of flaky, just messing around downtown all the time, not really doing much.
Right.
But we both say we are successful, and I say you're successful, you say I'm successful.
Did you feel in like your previous J life
Yeah.
that you had worked so hard to create these other things? You worked so hard to do this stuff that now you're tearing it down. Like that's your.
Well, so
you know what I mean?
Right. So again, I mentioned it in episode 1, but about 5 years ago, I had this cataclysmic event. So
Right.
my 25-year marriage ended horribly. Did not want it to end. Was tragic. Super depressed. And my 20-year career ended tragically, blown, smoke, ashes everywhere. And so through that, this huge depression I went into, I had to kind of restructure things. So I think there's two answers. Yes, I doubled down on, wait a minute, what am I doing that is not making me happy?
Right.
What is the fake version of success that I have out here?
Because when the whole thing fucking
it-
burned to
it-
the ground,
it had
it's
been-
like.
you're working really hard. So I was like, I was working constantly, 60, 70-hour weeks constantly. I was flying to the East Coast twice a month at a minimum. I traveled 60%. And so I was in Marriott's Monday through Thursdays
Right.
and home on the weekend. It was, but, was paying off in certain dividends really well. And I thought I was successful, but I was a pretty angry person. Both my kids say, yeah, there were times when we think about our family, and it was you with your clenched teeth and clenched hands just
So
pacing
you
in
weren't
circles.
fully present. So
No, I was angry. I was really mad.
So I want to ask a question about that still.
Yes.
When you were doing all that,
Yes.
when you were in it, when
Yeah.
you're fucking,
Yeah.
I'm going the distance, and you're
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
going home and you're getting
Right.
them checks, right? And
Right,
you're
right.
doing that thing.
Right.
Was there a part of you, even in that was going like, this is success, I'm doing it because I'm being told this is what I was supposed to do?
Well, I think there was.
Do you know what I mean? Were you
No,
following
absolutely.
the
No, very
formula?
much so. There was a part of me that there was a map I was following,
Right.
and it was very clear lined out what success looked like. And so I thought in my head I was successful because all the dots on the map lined up to what I was doing. I did not feel successful. I felt miserable, and that came out in my actions. That I was in many ways angry at people, and I was taking all of my unhappiness and my stress and putting it on others.
So you had gotten this, so from my perspective, right?
Right.
You're coming from a place that I'd never really have been. So
yeah.
you had all these external things in place,
Right.
right? The
Right.
house, the marriage, the kids,
Right.
security, right? Money in the
Right.
bank. You had this stuff.
Right.
But something inside you was not fulfilled. Something inside you was.
I thought
obviously
it was
there
at the
some
time.
kind of clash because
It,
you were.
it took
not,
the explosion
Right.
to make me aware. But I was very authentic during all that. But I
Right.
was very authentically angry. So I think what changed for me during this was understanding. The biggest thing was I started going to yoga 3 times a week.
Right.
I started meditating, and through that I was like, and my friends all started saying, you know, you are a great guy to be around, but you are really hard, a lot.
Like ornery, like
Yeah, short and angry
and it sounds bleak.
Yeah.
But this is the fucking truth of
Right.
where I go to in my head.
Right.
Literally, you're gonna die. What are you gonna do between now and that time?
Right.
You're gonna die.
Right.
What's the difference I want to make between this moment and this moment? I'm gonna die.
Right.
How do I want to be remembered? How do I want to use whatever is in here, this energy, whatever I have in here, whatever can I use between now and I'm going to die? That's literally straightens my shit out like in a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah.
So if I'm going focus,
Right.
okay, we're at halftime.
Right.
Right, we are at halftime.
Right.
You guys have all seen some halftime speech, some halftime game on movie or something, right? Like, imagine you're at halftime and this is life, right? Well, shit, that didn't go how we planned it.
Yeah.
Wow, we kind of got our ass kicked in the
Right.
first quarter.
Right.
Holy shit, that divorce, you didn't see that one coming.
Right.
Fuck, now
Right.
what?
Right.
So nobody goes in halftime going, hey man, hope you do pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Go get him, Tiger.
Yeah.
No, it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Second half, third and
Yeah.
fourth quarter, we got to kick ass. We got to put our head down. We got to
Right.
focus on what's important.
Right.
We got to stop this. We got to do that. That's how you feel
Yeah.
all the time now.
Yeah.
So, again, to me, that it's at that intense level.
Yes.
Because the purpose and you're gonna die part's on the front
Right.
side of it. Not out
The
of
time's
fear.
limited. Time's limited.
Yes,
Make
out
the
of
most of it.
Out of a
Don't waste
fucking
it.
motivator.
Don't waste it. Hey,
It's a clock I feel that's ticking, and
Yeah.
so that's the
Make
whole
every
thing
day count.
behind me, and that's what I try to give to my clients is at least that awareness, and
Right.
maybe even just to you guys. For me,
Right.
is
Right.
if you have that awareness, it puts shit into perspective. You know, so what is success?
Right.
And here's what I want to dive deeper in before I'm interrupting myself.
Well, we're gonna have to wrap.
We're gonna wrap
Let's
it up
take
here in a
some-
second, but here's a question I want to leave with you,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and maybe leave with everyone else
Right,
here.
right.
Not just what is success, almost more importantly, where did it come from?
Yeah.
Where did the idea of success come from? Because
Right.
for me,
Right.
I tried so hard to follow this idea of success based on everyone else.
Somebody else's map.
Everyone else.
Yeah, right.
And what they
Right.
were fed
No.
by their
No.
mom and
Yeah.
their dad
Yeah.
and their friends.
No.
And it's like I see people that are fucking miserable
Yeah.
chasing after shit that someone else is putting on them. And
Yes.
it's all around them.
Yeah.
So the ultimate freedom for me is to define that for myself.
No, I think that to me is huge. That when I started looking back and going, how did I arrive in this place where I'm not living the way that I want to? I don't
Right.
feel the way I want to. I had to do 2 things. One was I started focusing on right here and right now. And so this is a good analogy. I think this is really funny. And we're, again, where we're same and where we're different. With this idea of the podcast, when you first brought this up, we were talking about my kind of life and motivation and
Right.
lack of passion. And you said you should do a podcast because you would just enjoy it. You like talking about things. And so my definition of success is for the podcast is that I have fun today
Right.
working with you right now. And so that's number one. If I edit it, I like working on the editing. When I post it, I like the fact I don't want to in any way go, there's gonna be this many people that watch it.
Right,
They
right,
have
right.
this feeling about it.
Sort of
I go,
micromanaging
that
it,
happens.
yeah.
If it happens, that's fine. It really is not in any way linked to what I think about the success of the podcast.
Right.
And so in the same way, my successful day today is I'm getting ready to fly in 30 minutes to San Antonio, Texas for some business. I go, when I get up and I go down, I want to have a nice calm drive to the airport, so I want to leave a little early.
Right.
When I get there, I want to eat some healthy food, so I'm not on the plane feeling like crap.
Right.
And then when I get to the hotel, I want to go for a walk or I want to do a short workout. So my success for today is that I travel well and take care of myself so I don't feel like crap in the morning.
And you've done things you love to do.
Yeah, and I do things. And so my definition of success a lot of time is about keeping it right here, right now. And if I have a lot of really great days, that'll work out for the long term.
Right.
But we always have to leave more people wanting more. So we're
Right.
at the end of episode 2. I had a blast.
I had a blast.
I think this is crazy that we're doing this. We had a lot of good feedback. Your Facebook Live has a lot of stuff. If people have ideas or questions, put those in. The question was, what is the ultimate goal? What are you doing? And so again, for me, I'm having fun. That's what my goal for this is. And so what's your goal for the podcast right now?
My goal is to inject my bullshit into your life.
Nice. That's good. That's good.
I'm being honest.
That's good.
So
That's good.
even for today,
Yeah.
my whole end goal is for you to sit down right now and ask yourself, what is success mean
What
to
is
me?
success?
And where did it
Do I feel successful?
And ask, where'd it
Right.
come from?
Where's my
You may
definition
be
of success
chasing the
coming from?
wrong
No,
shit.
that's
You may
good.
be chasing someone else's dream.
That's good.
So ask yourself, what is it based on?
Yeah.
Is it based on your friends have a car that you like and you think you're supposed to be there? Why? If we keep asking why, we get to better answers. And that's ultimately what I want for all of you, is not to follow my shit, but to ask yourself better questions that lead to better answers. And that's
good.
what I want.